Please like, share and subscribe channel for more ghost stories. Story 1, Hide and Seek and Skepticism. This is a real incident that occurred some 41 years back. I was about 17 years old back then. It was a small town with a population of less than 10,000 people. We used to play hide and seek during night time. We could hide anywhere in the town, which was about 1 kilometer long. One particular night, one boy from our team did not join us. We went to his house to inquire. He appeared to be quite frightened, yet he came with us. He informed us that just half an hour back he had sighted a ghost. It so happened that he was returning from the district headquarters by a public transport bus. Being the last bus, supposed to arrive in our town at about 8:30 p.m., there were only 4 to 5 passengers in the bus. When the bus was just about a kilometer away from the town, it had to stop as the narrow road was blocked due to a bullock cart having overturned on the road. This was an age when there was hardly any traffic on the roads. I'm talking of 1977. In the whole town, there were not more than 5 to 6 scooters and not even a single car. Even Maruti was yet to begin its production in India. Most of the people were used to bicycles for short to medium distances. As there was no way the bus could move forward due to the blocked road for next 1 or 2 hours, all the passengers got down and started walking towards the town, which was only about a kilometer away. Just near the place where the bus had stopped, there was a cremation ground. It was near this cremation ground that this boy apparently saw a ghost, whose bones were shining, with no flesh or body and no clothes on. This boy got so frightened that he immediately ran away from there and stopped only when he arrived in his home. I had become an atheist at the age of 13 years and had slowly developed scientific temperament. So, I did not believe in ghosts or any other supernatural powers. After listening to the story, I challenged him, saying that there are no ghosts in the real life, and that he might have seen something else, or there might have been some illusion. However, other boys in the group also supported him. I tried giving example of our chemistry teacher narrating as to how when you apply phosphorus on black cloth, it would shine while the black cloth would not be visible during nighttime, and that it was possible to apply phosphorus on the black cloth so as to make it appear like bones of a ghost. However, other boys did not agree with me and challenged me to go in the cremation ground myself and prove that there were no ghosts. I accepted the challenge. But, because no other boys were willing to come with me to or inside the cremation ground, so how do we confirm as to whether I had actually gone inside the cremation ground? So, we made a plan. It was decided that I would have to go to the cremation ground past midnight on a day when there is a death in the town. It was believed that when a dead body is set on fire in the cremation ground, for 2 to 3 days, the person who died roams around that place as a ghost. Therefore, there were more chances of there being ghosts on that day. It was further decided that in the evening a notebook would be kept in the cremation ground, containing signatures of all the boys in the team, and I had to bring back that notebook after visiting the cremation ground past midnight. This was just to confirm my visit so that I could not bluff. Further, an old shirt would be given to me which I had to keep near the burnt dead body in the cremation ground at the time of my visit. This was to doubly confirm my visit. A day came soon within a fortnight, when there was an unfortunate death in the town. The dead body was set on fire in the cremation ground. At about 6 p.m., all our team members went there and hid a notebook with signatures of all boys almost in the middle of the cremation ground. All of us came back. At that time, the half-burnt dead body was unattended because usually people return after some time after cremating the dead body. Being a small town, there was no attendant in the cremation ground. It was in the open field, about 1 kilometer from the town and about 100 m off the road. As planned, all our team members assembled in the town and played our usual hide and seek game at night time. Past midnight, they accompanied me till the end of the town. Being scared, also because they fully believed in ghosts, they did not want to accompany me any further. This was my challenge now. So, I started walking alone towards the cremation ground, which was about a kilometer away. I had a small torch in my hand and also a stick, to take care of snakes or any other emergency, and also the old shirt handed over to me by one of the boys, which was to be kept by me near the burnt dead body in the cremation ground. It took me just about 10 minutes to reach the cremation ground. As I mentioned above, it was in the open field with no boundary walls. It was almost fully dark. I had full confidence that there could be no ghosts. However, there could be other risks such as of snakes or animals. There was a theoretical possibility that my friends could stage some drama to frighten me, like using phosphorus on some black cloth. However, I fully believed that none of my friends had the courage to go near the cremation ground at night time. Yet, there was a possibility of they having hidden something during daytime to frighten me. Therefore, I took cautious steps while entering the cremation ground. And, there I was. In the middle of the cremation ground. No ghosts were to be found there. And, there was a deafening silence. With the help of the torch, I could locate the notebook that was hidden by us during the daytime. Thereafter, I walked towards the burnt dead body, which was only about 15 to 20 m away from there. I waited there for 2 to 3 minutes. I kept the old shirt about 6 to 7 feet away from the burnt dead body. The dead body had been completely burnt by then. Yet, there was a little fire and some smoke coming out of that place. I stood there for about 2 to 3 more minutes, though with full caution. And, then, I turned around. No ghosts yet. The return journey took me comparatively less time. My friends were taken aback when they saw me coming back. Perhaps, they did not expect me to come back alive or in one piece. Early morning, next day, they got the confirmation by finding the old shirt at the designated place. Yet, they were not convinced. Some of them felt that the ghost might have gone somewhere else, due to which I could not see it. A few years after this incident, I had accepted another challenge of staying in an abandoned house said to be infested by ghosts for 36 hours, 2 nights and 1 day, alone. I did that successfully. But, people would still not believe that there were no ghosts, even though I won the challenge as per their own terms. Perhaps, wherever I went, the ghosts ran away. Thereafter, I have had many occasions where I could have faced a ghost, if one existed. Due to my service in IPS, I had the unfortunate occasion to see more than 1,000 dead bodies, of persons dying in violent or unnatural manner. For example, in 1993, I saw 55 dead bodies, completely charred, in one go when an Indian Airlines plane crashed near Aurangabad, where I was the SP. As I was in the nearby vicinity at the time of the accident, I was one of the first 4 to 5 persons who reached the spot, in an agricultural field off the road, with burning aircraft and with burning bodies inside it, while some of the surviving passengers were nearby who had jumped out of it. There were 63 surviving passengers. Story 2, Supernatural Experience. As a child, I loved listening to ghost stories told by my grandparents and other elders. Even if I was scared, I used to stay awake late night just to experience any ghost sightings, but never actually saw anything unnatural. As I grew up, I turned into a non-believer of ghosts and someone who would never get frightened of being alone, in dark, or watch/hear anything scary. Then one incident changed me. This happened when I was around 17 years old. I had gone for a vacation at my maternal uncle's place, which in Gujarat. He had moved into better, bigger, railway quarters, residence for employees working in railways. We had traveled a lot in the daytime from Mumbai to Vadodara and reached his place around 10 p.m. at night. There was a balcony starting from entrance of the home. It had a bathroom and toilet at the left side and living room and bedrooms on right side. Similar to the below arrangement, so, from living room, we could easily see the balcony. Post dinner we were just relaxing and watching TV in the living room. After some time, I saw some white misty apparition running in the balcony toward the bathroom. I first thought I was hallucinating because I was tired of the day's travel. But this happened 2 to 3 times more. I told my uncle and he said that it must be some pigeons which have their nests above the balcony. But I was sure they were not pigeons. I slept ignoring it. The next day, I completely forgot about the incident and started doing my morning chores. I went to the bathroom to take a bath. The moment I entered the bathroom, I started shivering due to fear and was constantly feeling that something bad was around. I came out of the bathroom as soon as I could and told my uncle and mom. They again consoled me saying there was nothing to be worried about, etc. Me, being a bold and unfearful girl, my mom sensed something wrong. Throughout my 5-day stay there, these things continued. Seeing apparitions near the balcony and shivering inside the bathroom. I was also getting scared around other places in his house. One such place was the bookshelf inside the bedroom where I always got scared like crazy. I was unsure why it was happening with me. The questions were still unanswered for 2 years. After 2 years, my uncle shifted to another place. After meeting him, he said that the house was haunted and a lot of bad things happened there in their 2 years of stay, so eventually they had to leave it. Apparently, the real story was, few years back, a girl staying in the house had committed suicide. She had set herself on fire near the bookshelf in bedroom. She ran from the balcony to bathroom, but eventually died inside the bathroom. After hearing this, I was totally freaked out. My uncle said that he did not want to spoil my stay there, so he had not told me that time. Story 3, Paranormal Cloud. This happened in 2007. It was a cold night. Me and 2 of my flatmates, let's name them Ram and Vaibhav, real names, were watching a movie. Now with Ramadas, the thing is that he will never leave a movie midway. No matter how pathetic it is. He was a big movie buff and sometimes would watch 2 movies at the same time, on same TV, switching between the channels during break. Now this particular movie wasn't very interesting. Me and Vaibhav got up in the middle and cursed Ramadas for not letting us watch anything else, and after cursing him to our heart's content, we walked to our rooms to sleep and then cursed him some more from the door. Now there is one more thing I must add here, is that another friend of ours had vacated his apartment few floors down in the same building and has gone back to India for 3 weeks. He had his stuff kept in our apartment. We didn't have lot of space in our apartment to hold all his stuff and still keep it livable, so there were few untraditional approach taken. Like, mattress over another mattress. His queen-size mattress was just kept in my bedroom and was making movement little restricted within the room, so I decided to pop his mattress over top of my mattress. Now that had made the total cumulative thickness of mattress on my bed to be more than 2 feet, more than 60 centimeters. I had not expected that to make sleeping so difficult. I had thought HHMM mattress over mattress, that would even be more comfortable, but trust me, it is not. So that night I was not having a very good sleep. I woke up many a time that night. So this time I wake up and I check my phone, it was later than 2 a.m. That was the era of SMS, and a group SMS chain was going on. I noticed the flickering TV light coming in from under the locked door. I could hear the muffled TV sound. Ramadas was still watching TV. I go through those SMSs while on bed. And then try to come down from the bed. Now 2 mattress, really make the edges of your bed soft and makes a slope on the sides. And while I was trying to get down from the bed, I slipped and fell slightly. I struggled to find my slippers in dark and I still see the lights flickering from the bottom of the door and sounds trying to penetrate the door. I eventually put on my slippers, walk to the door, open the door and it's pitch dark. I look around confused for a moment. I had come out of room to grab a glass of water, but now my mind was racing. What just happened? I will seeing and hearing TV for past 3 to 4 minutes from my bed and everything is off. I go to Ramada sleeping on the sofa and ask him if he just switched off the TV. He was in deep sleep. He wakes up and say no and goes back to sleep, and I know he is telling the truth. He was actually in very deep sleep. I stand near the sofa for a few minutes, trying to process what just happened. Did I imagine that? Nope, not possible. I check my phone and see all those messages I had just read, and all were marked red. I have not dreamt about reading those messages then. I was awake, seeing things and reading messages. Ramadas gets little uncomfortable that why I am standing near his head in dark, in middle of the night. He lifts his head and asks something wrong. I just nod and walk back to my room and get back to my bed. I was on my bed then, thinking about what happened, and that's when it happened. Now one thing I missed out was that the apartment was on 16th floor. There was another apartment building about 100 meters away from my bedroom window. And although most lights in that other apartment building were off, enough was lit on the periphery and one long column of probably stairwell was lit, so that you can see the building clearly. The blinds on huge window of my bedroom were up. That was the moment, I saw it floating in air outside my window, slowly moving towards my window. The best I can describe it will be a roughly human-shaped dark cloud. A cloud so dark that it felt it has sucked in all the light. It was as big as a normal man and it was floating towards my window. I missed where it originated from. When I noticed it, it was between the two high-rises. Slowly it floated towards my window, entered my room through the closed glass window and exited from the bedroom door. All the while when it was moving towards my window, I was rubbing my eyes. I felt that there is a dirt in front of my eyes which is appearing like that. But it wasn't any dirt. Strangely, if I rubbed my eyes for a second and then opened it, it was still there moving towards me, and the distance it should have covered in 1 second, based on the speed it was moving, it had covered that distance. At that moment, it really felt like death traveling towards me. Absurd part is that I didn't scream, I was not frozen either. I was very mildly scared, even when it was within my room. At that moment, I just didn't believe that it was happening. I am still trying to find out what happened that night. What were the things I saw and heard? Maybe I was dreaming, or maybe it was a mix of a dream and some reality which made me confused if this was all real. I don't know that. I still remain a skeptic. Even with my own experience. I still think people are making up stories when they tell about their supernatural encounter. But in my memory, it seems all real and exactly how it happened. And how I remember each and every detail, even after so many years. Because I have replayed the scene in my mind so many times. So that was my only encounter with a probable ghost.